We talk about self-doubt, which I think everyone has, our audience can relate. Everyone has doubted themselves at some point. But it's how did you get out of that self-doubt? What
The
is
same way I've gotten myself out of everything, talking to myself, encouraging myself. It starts and ends with you every time.
no.
It starts and ends with you. And one of the best quotes I've ever received was, "It's all about attitude, and it's all about attitude, and it's all about how you view yourself in any given situation. There's nothing wrong with being down in the dumps. It's how long you keep yourself down in the dumps.
Yeah.
I don't ever keep myself down in the dumps for long periods of time. I just refuse to do it. I don't want to
Hmm.
do it. I don't want that for myself. It's not a good place to be in. I felt bad about myself. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to self-doubt, to self-criticize, to self-deprecate. I know what it feels like. I don't want that anymore. So I quickly remove myself away from that headspace, and I'm always in problem solving mode, issue solving mode. How do I get myself out of this?
Yeah.
What can I do to maneuver myself to the next stage of my life? Because it doesn't always rain.
Yeah.
That's a fact. It's never always going to be sweet, and it's never going to always be bad.
Yeah. It's everything's a cycle.
Everything's a cycle. And
Everything's
when you're on top, you need to be humble, because when you get put down on your ass again, it's going to be real humbling again, right? And I
yeah.
feel like for us, we were running a high a little bit, and now we got put down on the dumps, and now we're about to take off again on another peak. So long as we hit a sort of like a downturn, let's make sure that the peak is always higher than the previous peak. That's
Yeah.
all I care about.
Yeah. And our lows doesn't
and our lows and our lows decrease.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want volatility. I want contained growth, right?
Yeah.
Sustained growth.
Yeah.
And it's always a journey, man. How do you get yourself out of it? Before we
Kind of
close it out, I
yeah,
want to
kind of
hear.
the same way. It's a choice. And that's one thing I've kind of learned that I've learned that now, like I think after 35, I kind of learned that everything is a choice, and it's you can choose to be sad. And sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's days, man. Sometimes it's days I want to be sad. I want to shed a tear, cry a bit, and all that. But then you have to choose to, all right, I want to choose happiness, because if you look around, man, a lot of people have it worse, and there could be worse
Yeah.
situations than we go through. And honestly, even, we volunteered, last week and all, and you can see like, damn, there's people really out here struggling.
Yeah, struggles
So,
for real. I
you
have
know,
nothing to be mad about. I
yeah,
have nothing to be
as long
sad
as you're
about.
breathing, you're healthy and things like that. So I look at that and I'm like, all right, I can actually do something about my situation, whatever it is that I'm going through. And it's just making that choice and then being consistent about it.
Mhm.
So just being in a consistent positive environment. So being around loved ones that care and support myself, and even if it's that job that I didn't get, it's not brushing it away as far as like, oh, okay, it wasn't for me, because that's the easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Wasn't for me, but all right, let's reflect a bit. All right, what could I have improved? What could I have done better to put myself in that position? All right, now I know. Let's take that and apply that to the next one.
Right.
You know?
And I think a closing note I'll give to everybody who is also captured or prisoners to other people's opinions is, once you realize that 99.9% of the people who have an opinion on you or who judge you have no freaking clue what's going on in your life, that's such a
Yeah,
relieving feeling, right? Because it's sort of like they have no idea what's going on. So their opinion or judgment of me doesn't hold any weight. And once you realize that, I think you're able to move forward, and you're able to move a lot more shifty or a lot more freely, right, throughout
yeah,
your life, and make better decisions and not have that weight on your head.
yeah. Wait, one more thing. One thing I noticed too is, and I encourage everyone to get mentors in their life or people that they look up to,
Mm-hmm.
and they're in a position that they want to be at. Um, it's interesting that people that are on that level that you aspire to get to, they're more, I guess, graceful in giving you advice than people that haven't accomplished anything,
Yeah.
or haven't been to where you want to go.
Yeah, I know.
So that's
I,
something that I noticed.
I think out of all the hats that I wear in my life, the one I'm most proud of is mentor. I am a mentor to a few students who want to go to law school, and they always look up to me and stuff like that. And I actually tell them, I learn more from you than you do from me. Like, this is
Yeah.
I'm always learning from my mentees, right? And they who've turned into friends. They're my friends. I honestly, I don't like that mentor mentee. It gives it like a weird dynamic. But
Yeah.
like for me, like I always say, like to the people, being a mentor and mentee is probably one of the most humbling relationships you can have, because you have someone who's actually looking up to you,
Hmm.
and it's never looking down at them, right? It's always like, okay, I actually learned something from this person. And that's what I love about those interactions, right? And I
Yeah.
always I always like look at people who don't have any mentees in their life. Like
Hmm.
you could always have a mentor. You can find somebody you look up to, but if you don't have anybody who looks up to you, that kind of says something more about you than it does about anything else that's going on.
Yeah.
So I'll leave people with that.